Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, the Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Cabinet Ministers and Assistant Ministers, the Honourable Leader of Opposition, Honourable Members of Parliament, viewers tuning in live, Ms. Winaka. Honourable Speaker, I rise this morning to provide an update to this Honourable House on the implementation progress of the Forestry Act 2025, a landmark reform initiative that will shape the future direction of Fiji's forestry sector for generations to come. Honourable Speaker, forests remain one of Fiji's most important natural assets. They contribute significantly to environmental protection, biodiversity conservation, climate resilience, watershed protection, economic development, rural livelihoods, and the well-being of our land-owning communities. Honourable Speaker, Fiji's forests support livelihoods across our rural and maritime communities while also contributing to national development through timber production, ecotourism, watershed protection, renewable resources, and climate change mitigation. Honourable Speaker, the forestry sector therefore required a modern and responsive legislative framework that was capable of addressing current and future challenges facing the sector. The previous Forest Act of 1992 served Fiji for many years. However, over time it became increasingly evident that reforms were necessary to reflect evolving international standards, emerging environmental challenges, technological advancements, changing market expectations, and the increasing importance of sustainable forest management. Honourable Speaker, the Forest Act of 2025 represents one of the most comprehensive forestry sector reforms undertaken in Fiji in recent history. The Act establishes a modern legal and governance framework that strengthens accountability, promotes sustainable forest management, improves landowner participation, enhances environmental protection, and creates stronger mechanisms for industry regulation and long-term sector growth. The implementation of this legislation, Honourable Speaker, is being carried out through a structured implementation plan over a period of approximately 2 years and divided into 3 major phases. This phased approach has been adopted to ensure that implementation is practical, coordinated, properly resourced, and supported through adequate awareness, training, institutional strengthening, stakeholder engagement, and development of supporting operational systems. Honourable Speaker, before elaborating further on implementation progress, I wish to formally acknowledge the support of our valued development partner, the Asian Development Bank, for its continued technical and financial support to the Ministry throughout the review and implementation process of this legislation. The Ministry deeply appreciates ADB's ongoing commitment towards strengthening Fiji's forestry governance systems and sustainable forest management framework. Honourable Speaker, I also wish to acknowledge the significant contribution of forestry expert from Tasmania, Mr. Graham Wilkinson, who has generously continued to provide his technical expertise and guidance to the Ministry throughout the drafting and implementation phases of the Forestry Act. His contribution has greatly assisted the Ministry in ensuring that the legislation reflects international best practices while remaining practical and relevant to Fiji's local forestry context. Honourable Speaker, one of the most important aspects of the Forestry Act of 2025 is that it fundamentally broadens the scope of forestry governance in Fiji. The Act moves beyond the traditional focus on timber extraction and instead adopts a holistic approach to forest management that incorporates sustainability, biodiversity conservation, climate resilience, restoration, research, compliance, accountability, and equitable benefit sharing. The Act introduces several major reforms and improvements over the previous legislation. Firstly, Honourable Speaker, the Act establishes and updated objectives, guiding principles, and general obligations to ensure that forestry decisions are guided by principles of sustainable forest management, environmental stewardship, transparency, accountability, inclusiveness, and intergenerational equity. Honourable Speaker, the Act also emphasizes the importance of scientific research, climate change mitigation, forest restoration, reforestation, and protection of ecosystem services. Secondly, Honourable Speaker, the legislation introduces a modern governance structure for the forestry sector. This includes clearer functions and responsibilities for the Conservator and the Department of Forestry, the establishment of a Forestry Advisory Council to improve stakeholder participation, and the creation of an independent tribunal to hear technical appeals and disputes arising under the Act. Thirdly, Honourable Speaker, the revised Act significantly modernizes Fiji's forestry licensing framework. Under the legislation, new categories of licenses are now provided for, including forest management licenses, non-timber forest products licenses, import and export licenses for forest products, and wood processing mill licenses. Honourable Speaker, this strengthens oversight across the forestry value chain while supporting improved industry regulation and traceability. Honourable Speaker, another major reform under the revised legislation is the introduction of forest practices plans and the new Code of Forest Practices. Under the previous legislation, Honourable Speaker, the regulations focus mainly on timber harvesting operations. However, under the reviewed Act, all forestry activities categorized as forest practices will require proper planning, certification, and compliance monitoring. This includes activities such as harvesting operations, plantation establishment, road construction, quarry development, timber processing, and forest restoration activities. Honourable Speaker, the new Code of Forest Practices will therefore become a key operational instrument supporting the implementation of the Act. Unlike the existing Harvest Code of Practice, the new code will address a much broader range of forestry activities, including native forest management, plantation management, biodiversity protection, restoration of degraded forest areas, stream and watershed protection, erosion control, environmental safeguards, and wood processing operations. Honourable Speaker, another significant reform is the establishment of accredited forest practices officers. These officers will operate within both the public and private sectors and will be responsible for ensuring that forestry activities are properly planned, monitored, and implemented in accordance with approved standards and legal requirements. Honourable Speaker, this reform is particularly important because it strengthens operational accountability while allowing the Ministry to focus more effectively on independent compliance monitoring and reporting. Honourable Speaker, in addition, the Act introduces stronger compliance and enforcement mechanisms, including stop work notices, corrective action requirements, fixed penalties, prescribed fines, and improved enforcement powers. These mechanisms, Honourable Speaker, are critical to ensuring that forestry operations are undertaken responsibly and sustainably. Honourable Speaker, the implementation of the Act commenced in earnest during April of this year under Phase 1 of the Ministry's implementation plan. I am pleased to inform this August House, Honourable Speaker, that the Minister of Forestry has successfully completed the Forest Act awareness sessions across the Central, Eastern, Northern, and Western divisions during the month of April. These awareness programs, Honourable Speaker, form the first major implementation milestone under Phase 1. The awareness sessions involved operational forestry officers, technical divisions, corporate support teams, and forestry stakeholders. Honourable Speaker, the purpose of these sessions was to ensure that all operational staff and sector participants develop a common understanding of the new legislative framework, implementation requirements, institutional responsibilities, and anticipated operational challenges. Honourable Speaker, these awareness sessions are critically important because successful implementation of the Forest Act will depend heavily on institutional readiness and stakeholder understanding. Legislation alone cannot achieve reform unless those responsible for implementation clearly understand their roles and responsibilities under the new framework. Honourable Speaker, as implementation progresses into subsequent phases, the Ministry will continue to undertake technical training programs, stakeholder consultations, institutional strengthening activities, compliance training, operational systems development, and sector-wide awareness programs. Honourable Speaker, an equally important component of the implementation will involve the preparation and rollout of supporting manuals, technical standards, operational procedures, and regulatory instruments that will strengthen the overall forestry sector. These include, Honorable Speaker, forest practices operational manuals, compliance and enforcement guidelines, plantation management standards, harvesting and environmental protection procedures, monitoring and reporting systems, restoration and rehabilitation guidelines, and operational codes for processing facilities and forestry infrastructure. Honorable Speaker, these technical instruments will provide the practical guidance necessary for officers, operators, landowners, and stakeholders to effectively implement the provisions of the new legislation. Honorable Speaker, the Forest Act of 2025 also strengthens Fiji's ability to engage in emerging opportunities within the global forestry sector. The legislation now enables the establishment of financing mechanisms and forest-based bioeconomy initiatives, including payment of ecosystem services, carbon financing, biodiversity credits, restoration financing mechanisms, and public-private forestry partnerships. Honorable Speaker, this creates new opportunities for Fiji to strengthen sustainable forest financing while also supporting climate change and conservation objectives. Honorable Speaker, the Ministry also recognized the central role of landowners within Fiji's forestry sector. The implementation framework therefore places strong emphasis on improving landowner participation, strengthening benefit sharing arrangements, and creating opportunities for greater local involvement across forestry operations and downstream processing activities. Honorable Speaker, as implementation continues, the Ministry will also work closely with landowners, industry operators, development partners, academic institutions, and civil society stakeholders to ensure that implementation remains practical, inclusive, and responsive to the needs of the sector. Honorable Speaker, while implementation of such a major legislative reform presents challenges, it also presents a significant opportunity to reposition Fiji's forestry sector towards a more sustainable, accountable, climate resilient, and economically productive future. The Forest Act of 2025, Honorable Speaker, is not merely a legal reform. It represents a long-term national investment in the sustainable management of one of Fiji's most valuable natural resources. The Ministry remains fully committed to ensuring that implementation is carried out effectively and responsibly with the objective of strengthening governance, protecting our forest ecosystems, improving investor confidence, supporting landowner participation, and ensuring long-term sustainability for future generations of Fijians. Honorable Speaker, last but not least, I would like to thank and acknowledge the dedication, commitment, and hard work of all staff of the Ministry of Forestry, our forestry stakeholders, development partners, and technical experts who continue to contribute to this important national initiative. And I thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to speak.
Thank the Honorable Bainivalu for